Hey everyone, let's talk about 1/12th scale droids today. At the Hasbro PulseCon on Sunday, they announced something very exciting, which was that R2-D2 was going to be getting a retooling in the Black Series. So since the beginning of the Black Series, the R2 units have been severely underscaled, and the R5 units. We're going to take a look at that right now. So here are a few Black Series figures at two different sizes so we can see the scale. And here is the Black Series R2-D2. He should be about the same height as the Jawa as we see in the film, but you can see he is severely undersized here. Now, luckily for insane collectors like myself, we have some other options here. So we have the Figuarts R2-D2 and the Mafex R2-D2, which are both excellent figures at, a little bit of a higher price point, but I think I got the R2 unit for like $40 or $50, and I really like it. It feels like a premium figure. Here's what those three look like side by side. You can see that the Figuarts is kind of right in the middle in terms of scale. It's my favorite of the three. It has some features like the Black Series one. It has some arms that pop out of the side panels here. Then it also has this cool little feature where you can change the color of the light. So if you're trying to get really accurate to a particular scene, you can do that. I like keeping it red just so we have that little pop of color amongst the blue and the white. Then the Mafex one is cool because it comes with the serving tray. It is articulated here, and you can pull that off and just have the figure be standard. It's a nice little kind of dirtied up R2. The way the feet come out is different on all of them, so on the Figuarts and the Mafex, it just pops in and out. This makes total sense. The Black Series one with the twisty head is a little bit silly, and in classic Mafex fashion, it's a little bit more difficult than it needs to be to get that out. We'll talk about that more in a second. Now you have a fourth option in the 1/12th scale droids, and that is the R2-D2 and BB-8 model kit from Bandai. Now this comes in a lot of pieces and you do have to put it together. I'm waiting till I have the energy to put this together because what I want to do is make a C2B5, which was the black and white droid that was heavily promoted during the press for Rogue One but never actually showed up in the film if I am correct. But this is the Elite series, which is very heavy and way too big, so I'm gonna have to make my own using the Bandai model kit eventually. But to show you the scale of those, here's the R5 Bandai model kit on the right and the Black Series one on the left. You can see that the one on the right is obviously much bigger. I did do a little bit of weathering on the one on the left very early on in my collecting and customizing days, so it's a little bit wonky. I don't know why I painted over the metal stripe, but I'd need to do some weathering on the R5 on the right because he's a little too clean, but he is the one I display. Now let's take a look at our options for C-3PO. These are all Black Series repaints that I did. I'm surprised we have not gotten other protocol droids in the Black Series. We've gotten a few repaints of 3PO, but there are so many droids that all use the exact same body. They could really just pump these out the way that they did with the Astromechs, but for some reason we've only ever seen C-3PO characters on this body. Actually, we did get a 000 figure, but anyway, those are my custom droids. Let's take a look at our options for C-3PO. I actually really love the Black Series C-3PO. I think he's very well scaled, and I don't mind the paint job on it too much. The Figuarts is a little bit shinier, but I think the eyes are too close together, and I don't know, it doesn't really seem to have the same personality as the Black Series C-3PO. Now, the Mafex C-3PO is probably one of the worst figures that I've ever seen. It falls apart as soon as you take it out of the box, and then one leg was way shorter than the other, and it just like kept falling off. Like as soon as I took it out of the package, it popped off. It is just a mess. Like I can't believe this was released. This feels like a model kit that someone like half put together. Even just trying to like get it together enough to show for this video was a pain in the butt, so this just sits in the box. It came with the Mafex R2-D2 with the serving tray, which I love, so I kind of just had to get both. But anyway, that's what that looks like. I love the metallic effect. I think it looks the most screen accurate, but unfortunately it is just a pain in the butt, so I might try to glue all those parts together and just kind of have him sit there as a statue. So here's what all three lines look like together. You can see how undersized the Black Series R2 unit is, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that in terms of scaling it up. And that also opens the door to all of the other Astromech units that we've already seen in the Black Series, both R5 and R2 units, because the base body is mostly the same. But we did get a lot of releases of these. We've got like 2 different droid packs with 3 different Astromechs in them, and lots of vibrant colors here, and this is just such a nice way to world build and add to the shelf. So I've always really liked these droids. They just feel kind of silly, and they feel like they're like TVC figures almost when they're sitting on your shelf. Here's how I have them displayed in my collection. I've got the Black Series C-3PO up here on Jabba's dais. I've got the R2 with the serving tray over here with the Ewoks. I kind of have this Empire, Return of the Jedi section. And I've got my protocol droid up here with the Hoth figures. And then my prequel series down here, I've got TC-14 up here with the serving tray. And then Attack of the Clones 3PO down here next to the battle droid and Aayla Secura. And then over in my A New Hope section, kind of in the Tatooine area, I have R5 and I have R2 sitting over here in kind of the purchase of the droids scene there with the Jawas. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Please subscribe and leave a like if you would like to see more of this kind of content, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.